Okay, comparing original Gameboy DMG shell with the newly manufactured third-party new shell, right? So um, initially I was trying to do a restoration video, right? So this shell was kind of dirty in the first place, and I tried to follow those some of the YouTubers where they kind of brush and clean and use chemical to make it like brand new again, right? Looks like very promising, so I tried to do that, but the reality punched me on the face hard, right? So no matter what, first of all, no matter what, how much I brush, it's not going to be as new as the original one because of the yellowish, right? Of course, I do not have the chemicals, and I did some research online that even if you use chemical plus UV lamps, right, then the color is going to go back to yellow and more yellow after a couple of months maybe. And the key challenge I get is this screw post. You see, it is cracking, right? So many of the see, it's totally cracked and dropped off. So many of the DMG shell due to age, right? So the plastic become brittle, and then the screw post kind of falling apart, right? Especially those that is exposed under sunlight, right? So therefore, it's really difficult to come across a original shell with good condition and so on. And then restoration is not always possible. So therefore, I kind of purchased a new shell, and let's do a comparison, right? So the new shell, the one I purchased may not be the same as the one you purchased, right? So it's all comes from different factory and with different qualities, right? So I'm just going to review the one on my hand, right? So let's look at the front plate. Try to, of course, the color is much more white than the old one. And let's see, the surface is not as oily or not as reflective, but I'm not sure whether this is due to the palm rubbing it or it is original like that. I have no way to tell. And other than that, seem to be a little bit different on the printing, right? On the logo and the alphabet. Right? This seems to be after the shell is done, then one layer is added on top. But this one is like blend better with the shell, or maybe there's another layer applied after the printing has been done. And the buttons I use back the original, so there's nothing to compare. And I do spot a difference on the select, right? So the whole select word is more towards the bottom left on the original shell as compared to the new shell, right? That is probably the only difference I can spot as of now. The rest looks more or less the same. And okay. Over here at the side, is maybe a little bit different on the curve of this DC port. The original one looks like the curve is more round, but that is really subtle difference. And Let's look at the back. Look at the nameplate. It is, I would say, the position is a little bit up on the new shell, and the label, right, is something that on the first side we can tell the difference, right? The original one is just 3 something 0 something, but the new one is always a year 1989, right? So that it will never be the case for the original. And other than that, there's one thing that I can tell for sure, right? The original battery cover will always have a number. It can be 5, it can be 9, it can be some number, but not too big number. I think it's either single digit or 2 digit. But the new one will not have this number, at least for the one I have. And for the battery door, there's also, they made it quite similar. I would say only you can tell by looking at the metal plate, right? Metal plate, the original one, we have a W1 and W2, right? Bottom two are W2, and they have W1 engraved onto it. Well, this is blank, right? So that is as much as a number of different I can spot. So what do you think? Do you think it is better to have a brand new and completely clean shell, or do you prefer the original one, regardless of the coloring change and the plastic being brittle over time? Yeah.